Hello FlossTube Stitchers. If you are new to my channel, I'm Shelly and this is my shop, Just Stitching Inc. in Strongsville, Ohio, which is a southwestern suburb of Cleveland. And I'm going to start off today showing you some new merchandise that came in, although it already feels like it's old, and I think that's because we've seen so many cute things shown on social media related to the Needlework Expo, which is going to be next weekend. But this is all deserving merchandise as well. It just came out ahead of Expo. So the only little tiny chart I have is Tiny Modernist, Mouse's Love Letter, in her little series of mice. So cute. I wonder what they would look like all stitched on the same piece of fabric whenever we think she might be done with the series. That might be kind of cute. Then Cottage Garden has number 2 in her monthly series. This is Love is in the Air. And these are all done on Ancient, but there are a lot of other nice neutrals. Ancient often has random, really dark splotches, which may not totally work out for the placement of the motifs. So I've helped people pick out other fabrics, so don't worry if you can't find Ancient. Country Cottage Needleworks, Love Lives Here. This is It's So Emma, number 8 of her monthly series. This is Lori Holt of Bee in, is it Bee in? Yeah, Bee in My Bonnet. So this is called Pleasant and Gentle. Madame Chantilly has Seasons in a Jar, all 4 in the same chart. And Erica Michaels, Peaceful Woodlands. All right, then from Cross Stitch Wonders, I showed you some Subway art last year, and here are some new ones. This is Valentine and St. Patrick's Day. And this is Spring. Okay. Homespun Elegance has Dashing Through the Snow. There are some St. Patrick's Day on their way, hopefully. Lila Studio has Lily White 1884, which is a reproduction sampler. This is done on 46 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works. And this is LW 1884, which is an adaptation of the larger sampler. And you could do this in any color. But what do they say? Everyone should have a red sampler on their wall. All right, and then also from Lila's Studio, Mary Taylor Stackney 1828, which is also a reproduction. And this is on 40 count Sandcastle by Seraphim. Then the Calico Confectionery. Some of these might have been from last year, but I think I started carrying her after Easter maybe, or it was out of season, so I didn't get some of these last year. Busy Bunnies. This is Easter Blessings. Oh, he looks like a chocolate rabbit. And this is Easter Blessings Sampler. And those would be so cute added to your dough bowl or your tiered tray. And Marshmallow Row. All right, and then Teresa Kogut. I did not order last fall or early winter from her. I kind of saved it up. So some of these are Christmas and from last fall, not to be confused with what's coming up next weekend. This is called All the Things. And those little individual motifs would be really cute done as ornaments as well. Or I would be tempted to do just the middle section as a picture and do something else with the border. You could also maybe do the border and it could be a picture frame for a family photo or grandchild's photo. Anyway, I love that deer. This is called Character. And I know you won't be able to read it. It says, character is like a tree and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it, and the tree is the real thing. And this is an Abraham Lincoln quote. December 25th star ornament. Home for Christmas. I love that smoke. So cute. Jesus is the reason. Another one of the star ornaments. Lincoln's eagle. Our humble homestead. Santa star ornament. Tilly's house. You are worthy. And then two of her larger sampler books. This is called Above All. And this one is Oh My Bird. Okay, that's it for the charts. I have some beautiful fabrics to show you. Some of them are brand new colors. Others have just been on back order for a while, so I feel like they're new all over again. The top row is all going to be 32 count Lugana from Zweigart. The first is the gray check. We've had the barnboard check before, which was more of a beige. And this is a beautiful gray. I thought it would be really great for Halloween, but also good for spring because a lot of the Easter colors look good on gray. So I'm excited to choose a project to use that for. The next one is Colonial Blue. And you'll notice that that tag also says Murano because Zweigart likes to name their counts, and Lugana at one time had a name for every count. Now they pretty much just call it all Lugana, but this is a tag that still is using the old term Murano for 32 count. And it matches up to DMC 322 pretty nicely. The next one I believe is a brand new color, Lavender, and I chose 155 and 340. It's kind of in between the two. I couldn't decide which was better, so hopefully that gives you an idea. It actually looks a little light. Yeah, it's so much prettier in person. It looks a little light here. Then the next color is also new, light mint. Do you see how the color lightens up with there we go. In this shot right here, the colors look more accurate, but then as soon as I put the iPad on top of it, it dulls it down. All right, then the bottom row is all going to be Fabric Flair. Some of these are just colors I've never had before. This is 14 count Bridesmaid, and I chose 156 and 159. 159 is not quite as gray as it looks here in person. Those two colors kind of reflect the different changes in the fabric. The next one over is Nut, which I was very pleased to see in person as I had never had this neutral before. And as you know, neutrals always sell the fastest. And I also feel like blues sell really fast. They're good to represent skies. They're also really good to stitch animals on. And for nut, I chose 543 and 3864 to represent the modeling. Then the next two are 16 count. This is just called Hand-Dyed Blue. And I picked 519 and 827. And then the last one is Historic Beige, which I've had before. It always sells really quickly. It almost has kind of a pinkish tone to the beige and is in maybe the same family as Nut, but a lot lighter. I really couldn't come up with any colors that really looked accurate on it. So anyway, if you need any of those for projects, let me know. Now it's time to show you the last week of stitching for Freebie February. In one sense, I'm sorry that it's over because I had so much fun with the excuse of starting a new project every day, but I'm also looking forward to going back and finishing some of these and moving on to some other projects. But it was still a fun week. So let's see, I'll show you the picture first. On Monday, I worked on Happy Easter from Madame Chantilly. And this is just from her design program. So there's no suggestions for fabric or thread. So I just use that as a jumping off point. And I did work on it an extra night. So I have a little more done than I showed on social media earlier. Okay, I've tried this a couple times, and these design boards from Lori Holt work really well for keeping your floss in check, but I don't think they were meant to be held completely upright. So anyway, I used all Weeks Dye Works colors: Grasshopper, Purple Haze, Camellia, Eggplant, and Capri. And then for the bunny that goes in the middle, I'm going to use White Whisper. And I like to do a fuzzy fiber last. So that's why I haven't stitched that yet. Then on day 2, I actually could not find my printed off chart. And so I did the same thing I'm doing now. I actually just stitched from my phone, which I don't normally do. I've gotten a few questions on Instagram about how do I like stitching from my phone, and I don't. It's really just for the picture so that I can include as much as I can in the photo. But this time I did have to stitch from the picture. I'm doing it on 36 count Ren from Picture This Plus. And I was just working with the, I think it was DMC 3051. I'm using the suggested DMC colors. And that says Grace, or it will say Grace when I finish stitching the green part. Alrighty, and then the next day might have been the Barbara Anna Swirly Snow, and it was on my list to go down to the basement and get that because it was packed away. It's not currently being used as a shop model, and I forgot to bring it, so sorry. You can check social media for that one. All right, and then the next day was a free chart that I actually stitched quite a few years ago, judging by the date on the paper that I printed, like 10 years ago. It's from a blog, La Matacina Rosa from Italy. And that's just a little picture that I printed off. You can tell it's been well used and dragged around. And I was just frustrated with not understanding where the leg met the candy cane. So I couldn't decide whether to stitch the black all the way around the candy cane and have it be completely in front of him, or whether I needed to adjust the brown on the leg to cover more of the candy cane so the candy cane was behind him. Am I overthinking this? Have you met me? So it just sat stitched for the longest time without any decision being made. And then I found at Michael's these cute little gingerbread buttons. I think I found them a year or two ago, but I still didn't do anything about it. Okay, so maybe I'll hang on to the floss this time. But look how cute he is finished. So I stitched him on 28 count light cast shell mocha, and I just chose colors that I liked that kind of look like the picture and fit the description of a gingerbread man and a candy cane. So this is Cognac, Liberty, and Charcoal in Weeks Dye Works, and Chalk and Straw Bonnet in Gentle Art. All right, clean off my board. Okay, I'm cutting out all the awkward parts when I lose control of my props. All right, the next day I did Beekeeper from Drawn Thread, and I have no idea what took me so long to stitch this. You know I love bee things, and it's so little, I practically stitched it in one evening, and she provides right on the free chart easy instructions for how to finish this into a scissors fob. So I was gonna try to assemble it for today's video, but I was afraid I would get it half done and not like something, and so I decided I wanted to show it to you stitched before I attempted to finish it, and then I wouldn't be under so much pressure. But I chose 32 count dirty instead of summer khaki, and then I adjusted some of the colors to look better on my fabric. I did use a darker gray, but the same white, and the green looks really dark here, and I was going to take it out and do it brighter, and then I thought, no, it's fine. And then the 4 flowers surrounding the bee were supposed to be yellow with a charcoal insert, and I thought they looked better as white flowers. So I have some ribbon put aside as potential hangers for the scissors, and we'll see what makes the final cut. And then I wanted to show you, all right, what did I do with this? Oh, here they are. I had to go get the scissors. So these are from Dinky Dyes, and I showed this in the picture, but these are the white Honeybee scissors, and there's also a blue and a gold version with different bee prints on them. So of course, I think this is the one that's gonna go on that fob when I get it finished. Okay, then yesterday, I worked on Sunflowers and Crows from Primitive Betties. I don't think she ever had anything for sale. I think she just had free charts on her blog, which are still there. So I wanted to show you the original chart, or part of it. Want to get this all in one screenshot here. So you notice there's a key up there. All right, so this was stitched for so long, and all I had to do was add the C and decide what I was going to do for the center of the flowers. So there were 2 issues regarding this. My issues. One was, what was I going to do with the center of the flowers? So they were unstitched. All I had was the brown and the gold around it. I thought 2 options were valid. One, I was thinking of filling the center with Mill Hill beads, which would fit perfectly because this is 28 count Queen Anne's lace, so the regular Mill Hill seed bead would take up the space beautifully. Or was I going to stitch the center in X's and then randomly add colonial knots? I don't know if that's clear. I can't tell if that's still clear, but you can see that I've added colonial knots, which obviously, you know, that's what I went with. But just this week I thought, well, Shelley, the seed beads aren't prim, so save those for another type of project. Okay, so that was one decision made. Then the second decision was what to do with the key motif that's supposed to be up here. And I had always thought that I was going to find a key charm. No, there was crickets for years. I just never found a key charm, and then forgot that I had even stitched it and put it away. Until just recently when I found this, I believe it was Michael's, I've already lost the plastic bag it came in. I even looked in the trash, but I'm pretty sure it was Michael's. But I found this set of 4 keys, and I took off the smallest one. Okay, let's see if I can hold on to this key. All right, so that's approximately where the key would go. But does it throw the design off balance? Because it looks perfectly fine just the way it is. And then I thought, well, maybe I could add the key to the center of a bow or the corner of a pillow or however I finish it. And then my thought was, why am I adding a key? Like, what does the key mean? It's sunflowers and crows. Maybe because crows are attracted to shiny things. But again, I'm overthinking it. So I'm probably going to use this key because it's the smallest one on the card. And it is finally stitched now. And then, all right, you know, I'm just going to keep this in the plastic bag because there's quite a few pages and I don't want to wrinkle them. But I saved the best for last. Don't tell the others. So this is a set of spring freebies from Whilst Iris Naps Designs. And you need to go find her on FlossTube because she is charming and has great stories to tell. And she's so easy to listen to. And I love her accent because she's in Great Britain. Anyway, she reached out to me on Instagram because she's been following my Freebie Februaries for 2 years. And she said she's downloaded some of them and she appreciated the work that went into finding them and showing them. And so anyway, she said, may I be so bold as to direct you to my website where I also have free charts? And I said, yes, Christina, you're already on my list because I think I had seen her Christmas one, All is Calm. I think I had seen that finished on social media and I had written down that name. Whilst Iris Naps is an unusual name, so I remembered it. Anyway, because some of the stitching this week had already been done or mostly done, I had 2.5 nights that I worked on this because I was really excited about getting going on something Eastery. And I chose, well, so I've been collecting all these crafty carrots. So I chose the carrots over the rabbit for the first one to stitch. And this is what I got done so far. I am using colors that are very, very close to what she originally called for. I'm using Persimmon instead of Clockwork and Lily Pad instead of the Gentle Art Dried Thyme. But that's how much I got done so far, and I just had so much fun stitching with 1 strand on 36 count flax. I love doing the border. I actually love doing the carrots too because once you kind of get a rhythm, you hardly have to look at the chart. So anyway, I'm so excited that she will see that I did stitch one of hers for this year's Freebie February. And you'll have to check out her Reproduction Samplers, which is a lot of what she talks about on her floss tubes. And she just does a lot of research and gives great history behind the samplers that she's come across. And I don't want to spoil anything, but she did not think she was going to be a designer. This was all kind of, I don't want to say a fluke, but it wasn't a planned thing. So it'll be fun for you to hear how she happened upon these samplers and what started her in her design business. So that is the end of my Freebie February for this year. All right, and the last thing we have to talk about today is the winner of the Lizzie Kate Snow Story series. And the random number generator chose Hope to Stitch. And for her snow comment, she said, living in South Dakota, she doesn't like it, but she's used to it. So I've gotten in contact with her and we'll get those off in the mail. And next week's video is going to be a bloopers reel. It's about time anyway, because I do one about every 20 videos. But next weekend there's the virtual needlework expo on Saturday, Sunday, and part of Monday. And I need to focus on my decision making for what I'm going to buy. And there will be opportunities for us to chat with the designers in their virtual rooms. So that'll be fun, and I didn't want the video to be hanging over my head. So watch for the bloopers reel. And then pay attention to social media, because designers have started to show what their offerings are going to be. Some of them are sneak peeks, some of them are full pictures. Other shops have started to show things, and I also will have some collages starting tomorrow. And so let your local shop know, or let your chosen shop know what you're looking for, and we'd be happy to take your list to market with us. Okay, have a great week, everyone. Bye.